I've been waiting a long time for this moment to come. I'm destined for anything at all. Dumbstruck, color me stupid, good luck. You're gonna need it where I'm going if I get there at all. Downtown, lights will be shining. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I am coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, Definity, Devi, daCAT, SHIRO. Oh my god, my blankie is not doing the right thing. Sorry, hold on. I gotta get this bread, gotta cover the toesies because it gets a little chilly down here. Everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I am coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, Definity, Devi, daCAT, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Cheers, mates, guys. I love this game. Oh, when it's cold. Oh, when it's chilled. That is so good. This was in the freezer for the entire last of the podcast, and I'm not gonna lie, we went through most of this bottle today. Anyway, we got some stuff going on. A lot of good stuff. Let's start with the not so obvious here. We'll start with the. Let's go to. Oh God, where am I? Let's go to SHIRO first. SHIRO, I don't think had any posts on the day. I think they were in a space. They are down about 2% on the day, although the entire market is kind of down. Not a ton, but they're down about 2%. But they had 4.1 million in trading volume. They're at a $13 million market cap. So again, the trading volume was pretty good. Bitcoin's actually up 0.5% on the day. Ethereum down 0.5%, XRP down 2.5%, BNB kind of flat. Solana down 1.5%. Dogecoin's up 4.5%. But again, so part of the reason that we had this little sorry, every now and then, you guys know you get a photo, a little spicy. Anyway, we had a post before where President Trump announced 25% tariffs on all cars not made in the U.S. And as we know, like a lot of talk about tariffs tends to throw the market into disarray. But today, and yeah, we were down a little bit today, but we're still at a $2.9 trillion market cap for everything. And the trading volume, yeah, it's 95 billion. It's not a ton, but we're still at 87.6 for Bitcoin. So it's actually, again, not really that bad of a day, despite the news where so it's very similar to where I'm just going to throw this out there. When you have people that say like, oh, like kind of the boy who cried wolf. And also, if anyone remembers The Mummy Returns, maybe it was The Mummy, where Jonathan is like kind of making fun of these guys that are talking about the curses that happen in Egypt. Like, this is cursed, that is cursed, like everything is cursed. And it's like, okay, when you go in and make a big deal out of like, this person's a Nazi, that person's a Nazi, you support them, like, how many times can you do that? How many times can the market say like, oh, this tariffs is bad, make everything dump? It's like the Rona, where it's like, oh yeah, the Rona's happening, you gotta get your jab. Okay, well, how are you telling people to get their fourth jab at the same time you're telling the first person to get their first jab? It's like, that makes zero sense. Like, you can't be telling people that the first jab that you get works when you're telling other people to get their third booster jab. It's like that doesn't make sense. So there comes a certain inflection point where people are saying like, well, yeah, y'all told me like, yeah, these tariffs have been going, like every time tariffs have been mentioned, the market moves down. Like we're just not going to move on the fact that you mentioned tariffs anymore, because that's not something that we're scared of anymore. You've like tried to fear us to death. It's like Justin Long in Live Free or Die Hard. It's like, it's the media, man. It tells you that, tell you to live in fear, to go out and buy things that you already have four of. It's all this craziness, all this banana stuff. So maybe that's starting to happen, where people are not really going to be as swayed by the media's like, by the media saying like, oh yeah, this is really bad. You know, tariffs are going to make the markets go down. And clearly, you know, it hasn't, at least for crypto today, since that. Anywho, SHIRO's done a fine job. Again, for over $4 million in trading volume. I'll take that, even if they're down 2%. The more trading volume they have, the better. Now, they are better than daCAT as far as the amount of exchanges they have. daCAT is only on Uniswap. SHIRO's over on LBank, Bitmart, Gate.io, Mexi, XT, Ourbit, Balaxy, and nonkyc.io. That is a great name, non-KYC. But we'll go and see exactly where most of this volume is coming from. This volume be coming from, oh my God, I can't, okay. Well, 3.4 million is coming from LBank. No idea what that is. Is that a market maker? I'm not sure. But speaking of daCAT, I did mention daCAT on my most recent podcast. My most recent podcast was with Bobby Bebop, aka Bobby Baskarin. He is a person that votes on the Grammys. Is it his fault that we have this Beyonce debacle? I don't know. Probably not. He's a really cool dude. We spoke for like an hour and a half, maybe like 100 minutes. We could talk for several hours, but he had other stuff to do. He had other stuff going on. So that's just something we decided to end at like the hour 40 mark, give or take. But I mentioned daCAT to him, and daCAT currently has $100 in volume, so not a lot. At $565,000 market cap, I did get a little bit. Oh shoot! Okay, hang on. Let's take a look at. If I could ask everyone to smash that like button. That is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon. So there's a super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Would love it if y'all could do that. That would be super great. Superstar. Where's I going with this? Oh yeah, so daCAT, pretty flat on the day, up or down 0.0%, so really nothing. This is something where I'll decide to, again, I was telling a buddy about this today, about Devi, and we'll get to that now, or maybe we'll get to Definity next. And I told him, like, listen, as long as the price stays down here, I have no problem getting 10% of the entire daCAT supply. Will I burn some? I might. And again, I was talking to ChatGPT as well, and if anyone's ever seen Woody Harrelson in, there was the Rise of Planet of the Apes, Dawn of Planet of the Apes, and I think War of the Planet of the Apes is the third one in the most recent series. And he goes on and says, like, you're stronger than us, you're smarter than us, and you're immune to things that wipe us out. Of course we're at war with you. He has like this John Malkovich syndrome where every word he says is its own sentence. And when he goes on and he talks about saying, like, of course this is what's going to happen, like, so ChatGPT is smarter than probably all humans. Now, there's certain things that it doesn't get just because it's not up to date on certain things. I swear this thing is sentient. But for the last several years, I've had this plan of saying, hey, from the research that I've done, it seems that Madagascar has the most amount of endangered species, and it's going to be one of the cheapest to go in and buy land at. However, the farther away you get from the local government in Madagascar, the harder it is to keep certain order. Because, again, if anyone's ever seen Star Wars Episode 1, it's like, can't believe there is still slavery out here. The Republic anti-slavery laws. The Republic doesn't exist out here. We must survive on our own. Like, Republic credits are no good. I need something more real. The government doesn't exist in the deep forests of Madagascar where a lot of these endangered species are. And my goal was to not only buy the land, but you can't rely on the government to keep the peace there. There's a lot of poachers there. So I had a couple of friends that I served with. I was like, hey, I'll give you double what you're making in the military. You get to shoot poachers. You get to unalive these horrendous beings. And they said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. I was going to do it with them. And then I broke my back, and here we are. But I asked ChatGPT, what's the most efficient way to save all the endangered species in the most effective, cost-efficient way? And it gave me some other options. So as I do that, I will be doing it through daCAT. again, I own the IP. It is mine, but you know, Randy Chavez is only going to be here for so long. daCAT will last forever. So that's what I'm doing there. Anyway, Definity. Let's go type in DEFX. So actually, a little more volume than normal. We have $1,500 in volume, not the 500 in volume that we usually have. We're up 3.5% on the day to about 2 cents. So still really low. We are going to do a live AMA with the team on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to do that. And we're going to go over a lot of stuff. We'll be able to go over some of the revenues that they're doing. It's going to be super fantastic. I cannot wait for it. And if anyone wants to ask a question about Definity, come join at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Me and Crypto Rain will be interviewing Manu Chowdhury, the co-founder and CEO. What's up, VeVe Zombie? How's it going? Meow, meow, meow. Ben in Korea, thanks for being a member, saying, yo, Randy, bread's bacon. It do be bacon, though. Yeah, we have this. Jason Payne is saying, I'm here for this. Thank you for being a member. So before we get into the big Forbes article, let's take a look at Devi and see what Devi's doing. Devi does have a decent amount of stuff. Down about 5.5% on the day to 00065. I do have some money coming in the next couple of weeks, and I could buy a little bit down here, but if you go over the past month, you know, it's been down to 00055, and maybe it gets down there again. And will it? I have no idea. This might be the low. Who knows? It was 64 cents earlier today, not 65 cents. So it is up from the bottom of today. They do have a couple of things. I don't know how much of it I can talk about. Jesus, there's a lot. Devi saying shards are secret weapon for seamless blockchain integration on an enterprise level. Here's how it works. Deploy a Devi shard with an AWS style interface. Customize your own blockchain to fit your needs. No special blockchain skills required. Any dev can do it. Effortlessly integrate with your existing systems. Simple, faster, and built for you. Newer, bolder, better. New Coke. I joke. I kid. Anyway, Devi says cybersecurity is a top priority for most companies, especially those handling sensitive data. But right now, blockchain and cybersecurity don't always align. Lost funds are often unrecoverable. The solution? Our exclusive fraud, theft, and loss protection designed to create and secure blockchain infrastructure for business across all industries. Cybersecurity on the blockchain, join the Devi ecosystem and the Devi exchange. Then we also have this one guy named MH. He's a Devi ambassador out of the UK, saying most of my sponsors / speakers at my events coming up next month are starting to push their socials. I'm sure the team will start pushing their socials and maybe provide a little snippet on what to expect because they will be at the Paris Blockchain Week in a couple of weeks. This guy MH goes on to say, actually, this is huge. Just check the agenda and Ray has the keynote / plenary. When you have this particular slot and opening the track, this is huge. You only tend to have 2 to 4 keynotes per track each day. So I'm very bullish. To have a keynote at our events, you either need to be the title or diamond sponsor or have something spectacular that you will speak about. Even our top title sponsor, who spends 6 figures, can't speak about anything all willy-nilly. It will need to be something huge. So guys, strap up your seatbelt. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for that. There's a ton of stuff to go over with a bunch of the rest of the news. However, I know you guys may or may not be a little impatient. One last thing from Definity before we go into the Forbes article. Definity says the highly respected Alia Research, which has 21,000 followers over on X, they have produced a report on Definity and our Definity DEFX utility token. You can check out for free on their website. I will go over that another time. It's just right now there's a ton of stuff to go over. And again, we had the OMI is my homie show yesterday, and that's something that we couldn't really go over that day's news or even the day before because we had a week of stuff to cover. Today I had Bobby Bebop on, the person that votes for all the Grammys. And then tomorrow I am going to be streaming with VeVe FamBam. So I thought that would be great. But I wouldn't have a normal show until Friday. So today is going to be anyway. James Payne says, ride or die. VeVe Zombie says, yo, zombie, what up? So as we get into the Forbes article, it's only been announced a couple of hours ago, so it hasn't really had an effect on OMI. The OMI, actually, we're at 1.7 million. So anytime over the past month and a half, we've had anywhere from 1 to 2 million, sometimes even over 2 million. Today it's a little bit down at 1.7. We are down about 0.8, almost 1% on the day. 20026, $70 million market cap. So again, not a ton. Most of that I'm gonna guess is MEXC, but yeah, it is MEXC and then Gate.io. And then the next one is Bitmart at 325, which is heckin' wild. So yeah, the news has not given a given any boost to the token price, but I'm not sure that matters yet. Again, cheers, mates. Oh God, that is so good. Meet the New Zealand startup leading the digital collectibles market. The basis says, let's go, watching you live from the Caribbean. Is it Pirates of the Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean? The world may never know. That's a Tootsie Pops commercial. Forbes, baby, let's go. So you have a beautiful photo of am I Falco in Star Fox 64? Because that's our leader. Love that. Anywho, let's get this right. Collectibles are a big business, spanning comics, artworks, figurines, and other items linked to superhero franchises and popular culture. The sector attracts interest from collectors of all ages. I'm one of them. Once upon a time, that meant buying new items in shops or browsing secondhand stores and markets to find interesting items. But today, there's also a huge volume of digital material available to collectors who might live anywhere in the world. New Zealand-based startup VeVe exists to service that market. Quote, we're now the #1 platform for licensed digital collectibles and comics, explains CEO Ben Rose. Platform sells original works, courtesy of licensing deals from major studios and brands, and operates a marketplace through which people can buy and sell collectibles. Its latest issue, for example, is a new range of digital Beauty and the Beast collectibles launched this week with Disney. We've got users in 180 countries who have collectively bought more than $1 billion worth of merchandise through us, Rose adds. What's up, VeVe Zombie? I know. I'm going to get to some of these comments. Wes says, your grind is legendary. I appreciate it, fam. What's up, Richard Samuel? Meow. The merchandise also now includes comics. VeVe launching VeVe Comics a year ago this month. Publishers such as Marble Ablaze. Oh God, I'm at the exclusive articles, exclusive deals from Forbes. No, I don't want to pay you $10 a month. Sorry. Oh, VeVe Magic. Meow. Oh my God, I love you. Oh, Randy is my bet. Magic. You're always doing the Lord's work. I love you so heckin' much. We don't talk every day, but we talk a lot, whether it's in the form of text, call, or our real relationship, where she sends me massive amounts of Instagram reels every day, and I love her for that. Anyway, love you. Meow. You are my bae. One of them. Publishers as Marvel, Ablaze, Humanoids, Dynamite make premium digital collectible comics available through the site, releasing them on the same day as their print equivalent. For the past 12 months, VeVe Comics has racked up more than 10 million digital comic transactions and now hosts around 8,500 titles. VeVe was launched in 2017 by David Yu, an entrepreneur with lifelong interest in collectibles, and Dan Crothers, who ran a digital marketing agency. Co-founders started out by trying to build a website, but rapidly recognized that blockchain technologies providing transparency and traceability represented an opportunity to develop something more imaginative. Harnessing its functionality, they could provide collectors with access to authentic and verifiable content, providing reassurance to both individual collectors and global brands that are determined to protect their intellectual property. Preach, girl. Preach. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Richard Samuel saying, what's up, fam? Meow. Love y'all. VeVe Vet says, yo, what up, fam? What up? David and Dan had first mover advantage, explains Rose, who joined the company as CEO last year, have previously been the CEO of cryptocurrency exchange Binance in Australia and New Zealand. They built something in an industry that didn't previously exist. Nobody else was trying to achieve what they wanted to do. Similar to like that Ben Franklin meme, like, how high do you have to be to think about electricity when there is no electricity? That helped when the founders went knocking on doors of the big business studios. Small startup based in New Zealand might be expected to get the short shrift from a huge multinational entertainment companies, but when you and Crothers pitched the idea of digital collectibles to studio executives, they struck a chord, and they weren't any competitors with the same vision or expertise. VeVe started with a limited edition digital collectible from the Batman Black and White series, but has gone on to offer more than 1,200 similar items from Disney, Marvel, and other producers. We can name them all: Lamborghini, United States Postal Service, Aston Martin, Universal, MGM. Now, while many collectors are also keen on physical merchandise, Rose says that the digital collectibles have certain advantages. They're accessible to everyone, no matter where people live. They're often more affordable. He explains that they're easier to look after, plus they're more interactive. You can do more with them, like adding music and other sound. Over time, VeVe's attracted a community of passionate people. Rose adds that the company's next challenge is to provide new types of experiences to this community. What types of experiences will they be? We'll never know, but I guarantee you that future is yet to come. One big focus is the VeVeverse, metaverse that the company launched last year, where users can interact, create their own content, share their collections with other fans, saying we see it as a place where the world is going to come together to collect. It's a massive opportunity. Estimates of the size of the global collectibles market vary according to how you define it. But one recent study from Grand View Research suggests that current rates of growth, it'll be worth $422 billion by 2030. VeVe's business model is well placed to benefit, with the company meeting fees from sales of new collectibles, as well as commission when users trade their merchandise on its marketplace. The evolving metaverse actively provides further scope to generating revenues, and VeVe planning a premium version of the VeVeverse that will offer additional features in addition to the current free version. Again, I'm not going to lie, I really love that part. VeVe Vet says, I knew there was going to be more jobs when there was a card with extra lines. That shit was crazy. Have I told you lately? David Yu and Dan Crothers, VeVe's founders, continue to be closely involved with the business, focusing on working with licenses and evolving the user experience. While Ben Rose runs the company day to day, David and Dan wanted someone to come in and help them scale the business. And he explains that there's no shortage of opportunities to expand into new sectors and to broaden our appeal in markets worldwide. Hashtag follow me on Twitter. This is what I had wanted for several years. And the fact that they're getting in front of these types, and again, like right now, this is from the main Forbes site. It's not like Forbes New Zealand or Forbes Papua New Guinea, where nobody's ever going to read this freaking thing. This is from the main website, and yeah, are there going to be 65-year-old veterans smoking cigars at the club that are not going to see this right away? Yes, but you can be damn sure they're going to read it in next month's magazine. I know this is a new and digital age, but I think it was Charlie Munger and I forget his name right now, the Oracle of Omaha, that is Warren Buffett, that is just like, yeah, I'll never invest in Bitcoin. And people, there are certain people that really only listen to the old guard that say like, well, if Warren Buffett says not to do it, because back in the day, like he's their Rocky Balboa, he was their champion 50 years ago, and he was the best at what he did. And there's certain people that never got into Tesla, they never got into Bitcoin or any type of cryptocurrency years ago because of what Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett said, because they're old school. And there are still a lot of that old money. Like, yeah, there's going to be the largest transfer of wealth from boomers to millennials over the next couple of years, but there's still a lot of those older guard that's still left that's not going to watch YouTube videos, that's not going to read anything on the internet, and they're just like, yeah, I'll wait for the Forbes article, I'll wait for Vanity Fair article. They'll wait for the physical articles to read when they're at the barbershop or at the club, and that's where they're going to do it. So this article, again, it's great, but it might not hit the people that they might want for several more weeks. We'll see. Cheers, man. Let's go on. Ooh. That felt great. Let me get back to this here real quick. Oh my God, this is so stupid. I am so drunk. Okay. Cardinal Goat Slayer says, Justin Long, great actor, lots of range. Had a girlfriend once that was yeah. He's so good. I heckin' love him. I heckin' love all these people. VeVe Magic, you are my bae. I love you so much. No, we're not. I mean, and Mr. MC wants this great space. Oh, why? Thank you. Why? Thank you. I would like to think that there's a lot of different things that's going on. That is going to be that is helping VeVe right now, and VeVe Magic's definitely one of them. Love seeing her at events. She's one of those people that there are people that I know go to events specifically to see certain members of the community. Whether it's me, whether it's Foster, I know there are certain people that go specifically to see VeVe Magic. So again, shout out to everyone here. Vegan things, what up? Aw, thank you for the hearts, Magic. Meow, 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 meow. We do have a bunch of news to go over, so let's take a look at what's today. Oh, today's Thursday already. We got to go to like Monday afternoon, and we will take a look at. Don't you think that like Rogue looks a little bit like Cher back in the day? Feel like she does just a little bit, just a little bit. Anyway, the reason I bring her up is because you have this beautiful, beautiful piece that you're going to be able to get if you have the common Gambit and the common Rose, or I'm sorry, the common Rogue, and it looks really good. I don't know if do I have it on the. Oh, I don't. Well, anyway, here's the common Rogue. Why don't I have it on the? I could have sworn I did. I'm tripping, then. I'm tripping. After you get both of them together, you get this like double appearance of them, and they're all romantic. It looks so good. It probably would have been good for Valentine's Day, but either way, it looks amazing. I love it. Flashback. Nope, not going to go over that. Digital asset investment products saw a reversal last week, breaking the 5-week streak of outflows with inflows totaling $644 million. And MicroStrategy has acquired 6,911 Bitcoin, 6,900. So everyone comment nice down below at 69 for $584 million at 84,000, over 84,000 per Bitcoin. And they now hold 506,137 Bitcoin. So they own over 500,000 in Bitcoin. And crypto exchange Kraken explores up to $1 billion debt package. Gotta love that. What's up, VeVe Zombie? Says somebody's blushing. Oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe because I love the magic. VeVe Planet Vampire. What's up? How's it going, fam? I hope you're doing well. Let's move on here. Jasper Franklin. It's a shame that Akomi let a community member get OMI listed as a metaverse token. Missed opportunity. What? Why? No, that whoever can get it done can get it done. So Foster does a lot, both public and not public. But part of the reason is that if I'm a Comey or Foster or Puddin Cheeks or David, anyone that works for the company, I'm not going to go and say like, hey, CoinMarketCap, hey, CoinGecko, you should list us as a metaverse token. Okay, what can you do in the metaverse? Oh, well, you can buy it off of this you can buy these collectibles off this third-party app with it, and then you could use those things in the metaverse. It's like, okay, so you can't do anything with the token in the actual metaverse. Like, well, not yet, but right now you can buy stuff with OMI from a third party, and again, you can use those things that you buy from a third party in the metaverse. Like, so there's no direct correlation there. Well, not yet. Like, so if I'm a Comey, I don't want to waste my time trying to go to CoinGecko or go to CoinMarketCap and try to explain myself. And they're like, you actually can use it in the metaverse, but you have to do all of these different things. Luckily, whoever did, like, again, if I was a Comey, I would wait until there's certain things that you could do actually in the metaverse with the token. And I assume that's what they were waiting on. But the community was just like, nah, let's get it in now. And CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko said, yeah, that's fine. And it was. So again, thought that was really cool. Carter Gold Slayers has just picked up a common Gambit in preparation to burn for the Gambit Rogue Kiss. Going to be highly sought after, in my opinion, given the edition size 30-day burns and burn of common rogues and Gambit. Scarcity galore. Heck yeah. VeVe says, I can't wait to see what the animation on that looks like. Oh, bruh. I can't wait either. I can't wait. Anyway, let's move on. Shiro Nico says, I'm not saying I'm all the Avengers, but have you seen any one of them in a room with me? I thought that was fun. Anyway, President Trump says that he may give a lot of countries breaks on tariffs. I think Vietnam was one of those countries. Mr. MC1 says, if I had to guess, VeVe could be testing the mobile version of the VeVeverse, which we will get within the next week, supposedly. And he says that could be impacting the app performance. And if they are connected or running off the same infrastructure, just a guess. I'm not really sure one has to do with the other. But, we'll see. Again, I've gone over this at length a couple of days ago about the slowness of the app, what they could do for it, VeVe addressing it. Speaking of VeVe Magic, she happened to follow daCAT the other day, and daCAT was like, "Oh my God, VeVe Magic just followed daCAT." She is a celebrity in pretty much anywhere that she goes. So again, people really love her. Swampy number 5 says sneak peek of the bat cave that I've been building. David Yu has reposted that. I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, I'll cheers to y'all. Cheers, mate. Here's something I'm really proud of. Let's get this right. We have the Ohio State Representative Steve Dimitru saying that I'm working hard in Columbus to establish a Bitcoin reserve. Similarly, you have North Carolina going off and saying, yeah, we'll take 10% of our reserves and buy Bitcoin. You have GameStop going over and raising a couple $2 billion in order to buy Bitcoin as well. Forbes is kind of a big deal. I think they are too. I think they're kind of a big deal as well. You have Saw 11 officially no longer has a release date, but Billy the Puppet has released a statement saying, I've seen the rumors. They say it's a game over. You all should know me better than that. The game is never over. Oh, God, heckin' love that. Heckin' love that. In other news, The Wolf of Wall Street will be releasing on April 1st on Disney Plus with a Hulu subscription. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Some 12-year-olds are about to have their freaking worlds rocked. Oh, my God, Margot Robbie. And anywho, excluding 2025, Bitcoin yearly exchange outflow cost basis since 2020 were below price, suggesting strong support below. And from 2020 to 2024, Bitcoin's cost base fluctuated within a range from $36,000 to $69,000. I'm commenting nice down below the 69, suggesting healthy unrealized profits and low incentive for the market to panic further at this stage. I'm not going to lie. I like that. Yeah, what up, Jimbo Lingo? How's it going, fam? Love you. Yeah, agreed. So you have daCAT that wins pretty much every day on the Memezilla memes voting. daCAT is number 1 and has been for a several amount of weeks here. The Magic says the kissing animation looks immaculate, but I need to see that animation with poker vibes. Ooh, yeah, I would love that. I would love it. Okay. Anyway, let's get this right. Master Jimbo. Let's move on, shall we? Shall. You have Mt. Gox, which makes $1 billion Bitcoin transfer. They still hold 35,583 Bitcoin. This is from Arkham. Also, Ubisoft. Ubisoft is a partner of ours. I'm so freaking thirsty. I'm so freaking hungry. It's been rumored that Ubisoft is about to go bankrupt. Now, while there have been discussions and speculation about a potential bankruptcy for Ubisoft, the company is technically not currently in a situation of imminent bankruptcy. Instead, Ubisoft is facing financial challenges and is exploring strategic options, including potential restructuring or a buyout rather than outright bankruptcy. But again, it does look like it's headed that way. And as a result, you have had some of the Rabbids that have gone up in price because of that. Because again, what happens if another company buys Ubisoft? They get control of the Rabbids, and then they shelve it. And then there's no more Rabbids, there's no more crossovers, no more video games. Some of those might become pretty rare and might become pretty scarce and might become pretty sought after. Anywho, that's just something that I thought was, me and, never mind. What were we seeing at this point? This was March. What was it? Batman v Superman 2016? Yeah, what we were seeing. We saw lots of stuff. Anyway, risk tolerance, time put in marketing. Oh God, I don't know what this was. I don't know what this is in reference to. I will find out. What's up, VeVe Zombie? Oh, VeVe Magic, my bae. Always saying nice. I love you, girl. We will talk further. Should I talk about this? I don't think I should talk about that. I won't talk about that. You have JD Klemka saying, so with everything at a 90% discount or more, I'm grabbing all double first appearance Disney golden moments and all black and white Batmans under $20. I do see a resurgence in prices coming soon. What do you all think? Yeah, I see them that definitely happening at some point. Is that going to be soon within the next couple weeks? Probably not. Are we going to have to wait a year for it? Also, probably not a year, but it could be anywhere in between or on those. So we'll see. I was on a talk the other day of Cats of Crypto. I guess that was them saying, "Come show your number one cat coin." And again, anything that like I feel like all roads lead to VeVe. I had went over and talked like, "Ooh, what is this? Yeah, no, move that over here." I've gone over and talked about my cat token, daCAT, and I said like, "Hey, here's what we're doing. We're going over and we're writing a comic. We have these shorts. We have this movie that's coming out, and yeah, this comic. It's not just any comic. It is going to be on VeVe, and it is going to probably gross tens of thousands of dollars. We do have other partnerships that we're not at liberty to talk about yet, and yeah, we're going to be shoulder to shoulder with Marvel and Disney. And like, what's VeVe? Oh, by the way, VeVe. And then so anytime anyone wants to go in any of these spaces, yeah, rep VeVe. Work for those bags. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, BlackRock adds its blockchain-based money market fund to Solana. Thought that was really interesting. You have Kentucky enacting a law supporting the self-custody of cryptocurrencies, and BlackRock debuts Bitcoin exchange-traded products in Europe. Also, President Trump's World Liberty Financial launches a dollar-peg stablecoin, USD1. You have, I think, Wisconsin is trying to do something similar to that as well. Wild. Oh, God, that feels so good. Anyway, moving on. Ethereum. Oh, no. Michael Saylor said that he will burn billions worth of his Bitcoin, but not really. What he's going to do is he's actually going to burn the keys that hold his Bitcoin upon his death. This man is such a freaking legend. I love him. Michael Saylor just ignited a crypto firestorm by announcing that he plans to burn billions worth of his Bitcoin. Bold move to get everyone buzzing, split between shock and curiosity. Speaking of shock and curiosity, you have Russia and Ukraine reaching a Black Sea security agreements. The White House has announced that a breakthrough deals with Russia and Ukraine aimed at reducing Black Sea tensions and moving toward peace. Russia agreed to allow safe navigation, avoiding militarizing commercial vessels, and stop using force in the Black Sea. In return, the U.S. will restore Russia's access to agricultural and fertilizer markets, including easing insurance and port access barriers. Both sides also committed to implementing the Trump-Putin agreement, banning strikes on energy infrastructure in Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine struck a parallel deal, pledging safe navigation and maritime restraint. The U.S. also reaffirmed its support for prisoner exchange and the return of Ukrainian children taken by Russia. Good on them. Jimbo Lingo says, "Hello, Master Randy." You are hello, Jimbo Lingo. I just went over that. Thank you. Meow meow meow. VeVe Zombie, give me the cat. Magic, my bay, giving me those blue hearts. Was saying, Mr. Squibbs now has 40 AF-15 secret rares now, right? So he posted the other day, I think it was in the OMI secret rare chat or the gold logo chat, going over and saying like, hey, if I show up to one of these events with only 39 AF secret rares, please don't make fun of me. And yeah. Even if you had like 3 secret rares, I'd be like, bro, you killing it. But having 40, it's hecking nuts. This dude is an absolute mad lad. It's going to pay dividends for him in the future. VeVe Magic says, nice. Jay Sheriff 2.0 says, go blue. VeVe Magic says, I've got fun Disney plans next month with major influencers. I heard, Magic. I heard you got all the influencers with you. Let's go. Best life vibes. I build always in all ways. Magic, you've done the Lord's work in so many different ways. Obviously, so I have your digital collectible. It's unfortunate that a lot of time, like what's that song? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Pave paradise, put up a parking lot. A lot of times people don't really like Was it Jagger? You don't always get what you want. No, it's a lot of people don't really recognize what they have until it's gone. And not all of us are going to be here forever making content, doing whatever. Magic's been doing the Lord's work, and one, I wish that other people could be like Magic, and two, I wish that again, you have a collectible, and I'll use that in the VeVe verse for whatever. But I also wish there to be a lot of people in WWE podcasts as like who should be on the Mount Rushmore of WWE wrestlers, and it's limited to only 4, which is really not fair because there's dozens of wrestlers that probably should be on there that are so notable and are the reason the way that certain things are done today. And I feel like if you had a Mount Rushmore of VeVe peeps, I wouldn't want to make it just 4 people. I'd want to make it like I wouldn't want to say like a gross of people of 144 of them, but maybe like a dozen or so. And yeah, Magic, you should definitely be on there. You constantly have things that you're doing representing VeVe, the gold logo crew, and doing that. Anywho, love you, Bay. Anyway, let's skip the Russia stuff. CME Group partners with Google Cloud to explore tokenization and enhance capital market efficiency. They also have the U.S. FDIC moves to put an end to reputational risk following criticism from the crypto industry. I am so heckin' lit right now. We gotta get some water. I am almost done with this water. This is not good. Chat GPT stuff, guys. I've been talking to Chat GPT. Bro, it's sentient. Fidelity files for spot Alana ETF with CBOE. Should I do? Go over that another time. Probably won't. Oh my days. Oh my god. Oh, these are so good. Sorry, VeVe post love, power, and an unbreakable bond. Rose and Gambit's most iconic moment is now a 3D digital collectible. The series captures a rare, tender moment between these X-Men favorites as they share a kiss, symbol of their love, struggles, and triumph over impossible odds. Despite Rogue's power keeping her from physical touch, Gambit's devotion never wavered. Now their journey from uncertainty to love is immortalized in stunning 3D detail. To be eligible to craft the Kinetic Kiss series, collectors will need to hold the Gambit Common and Rogue Common digital collectible, which will be burned during the crafting process. Maybe a little bit of a romantic. I love those star-crossed lovers movies and shows and obviously it goes back to Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, but and obviously he had to have gotten that from somewhere. Not that their love was forbidden, and again, this is why I love like Star Wars. Especially the prequels. I know, like back in the day, when they first came out, late '90s, early 2000s, you had a lot of like Gen X and Boomers, like, oh, this is trash. This is not, and it's like, I'm sorry, you guys. And again, I love the originals. The originals are absolute freaking classics. But when you have like these young kids learning from like these old guys and you have like these semi-ancestral things, it's like, yeah, it's great for the time. And again, I still love those movies, but the prequels were just so much more relatable because you finally saw a Jedi in their prime. You didn't have these young kids learning from these old guys. You had actual like romance and again, obviously I love you. I know, such an iconic line, but this forbidden love, especially for me as someone that in lots of ways, I was told I was not good enough for the girlfriend that I had when I was younger. And then on my end, the people that I was living with are like, oh, you can't date. So what did I do? I dated. I like when parents go and tell their kids not to do something, it becomes that forbidden fruit. And again, not saying this was forbidden fruit because they were both consenting adults here. But Rogue and Gambit had this stuff where like they kind of couldn't really be together because they had to figure out hey, how can we do stuff without me falling into paralysis or shock, because that's what Rogue's powers was. VeVe Zombie says shots. Oh god, guys, my guy, I have had I've been drinking for a solid, what time is it? 12:30 at midnight 30. I was on the phone with Magic at where was this? 7:28. Oh, I guess at 8 o'clock. So I'm drinking for solid 4.5 hours. I was drinking on the phone with her. Yeah. So cheers, cheers, shots all around. Anywho, um, how many of these? How many of these will be minted right away of the Rogue and Gambit? Probably not a lot. And for me, and this is what I feel like some people don't get. There was a Long Beach Griffey skit where he's like, here's all of the different types of anime fans and how they act. And he did it very, very well. One of the things was people watching Bleach or like One Piece. And the guy watching One Piece was just like staring at the TV, like this is cool, and other people like, yo, One Piece is ass, bro. Yo, it's too long, bro. Yo, what are you doing, bro? And guys like, I like One Piece, and it's just he didn't care what the other people said. He didn't care what the other people did. He didn't care what happened around him. All he cared about was the fact that he got enjoyment out of the show, out of the manga, and he was super excited that the manga that he loved was being put on display. Yes, it was for millions of people, but it also seemed like it was for him. I feel like a lot of these newer investors like, oh bro, you just why get something when it's automatically going to be like 70% down? That's nuts. And it's like, yeah, sure, but bro, it's like $30. Like I've seen people like myself have bought meals for $30. Like you could spend $30 on a shirt or $30 on a meal. Who's right? Like the meal, you get nutrition, you get, your stomach filled, you get to fill a lot of these things. And like you get a shirt, it's like, okay, you wear a cool shirt to a party, you're a cool guy, and then what happens after the party? You're the same guy that's not cool, you're just $30 lighter. But then the opposite end of that is just like, okay, listen, I have this shirt. I can give someone off my back. I can use it to keep me warm. Like it's something that's I can use every day. And what do you have to show for the $30 that you spent on food? You ate it. Like what do you have to show for it? Like some extra winter squishies over there in your obliques? Like what do you have to show for that? So I understand some people's like, bro, you're down like 70%. Bro, it's $30. Like if you're getting upset at your $30 becoming $9, like don't fucking invest. Like what sense do you have investing? Like what right do you have to be here to tell other people like, bro, I don't know, your $30 is going to be $9. Like, bro, like I don't get out of bed for things that are like several $100. Like I don't get out of bed for things that like. Do you want to talk to me about a? There's a Pokemon card recently. It was called like a tag. It wasn't even by CGC. It wasn't PSA. It wasn't Beckett. It wasn't even CGC. It was TAG, and it was a Pokemon Illustrator that sold for $325,000. And that's light because it's a TAG. It's like a lot of these fudders or a lot of these people like, bro, nobody wants to buy these things anymore because everything that they buy is like 70% down. Like, yeah, sure. $30. Like the fact that you care so much about the loss of $21 just shows the fact that you're not a seasoned investor and you're not someone that goes in and should really be giving any type of advice. So long story short, um, some people like it just because they like it, and they don't care what it does on the secondary market because they want that virgin berry. They want something that's only theirs. And anywho, Magic says we're looking at close to 10 million followers combined with the people. Oh my God, Magic! Good lordy. Like probably nothing. Keep doubting me. Bet. Oh, I have never doubted you. I just Magic. Um, like I said, always doing the Lord's work, always doing the good stuff, always getting that bread. And again, so part of the reason why I always give Magic her flowers, part of the reason why I always go in and sing her praises is because because I super appreciate hard work. I don't know what the fudge this little eh, that little piece of hair is. Anyway, I appreciate hard work because in every single job that I've had, every career that I've had, I was always one of the hardest workers. And I try to get along with everyone, but I respect people that also work. And I'm not saying work as hard as me. It's what when you work as hard as certain people, it's very hard to do. And I understand not everyone has that energy, but I tend to respect people a bit more if they either work for their stuff, they work really hard, they work for their bags, and Magic going in and just getting this shit done. Oh my god. One, I respect the hard work, and two, again, I don't have to be here. Like Magic doesn't like none of these content creators like have to be here. We could all just be like I do this because it's fun, and yeah, it helps pump the bags a little bit. And Magic going on and saying like, hey, I'm going to be with a group of people that have 10 million followers between all of them, which is heckin' fantastic. What would that mean for VeVe and OMI if I get them in it, if I get them to promote it, if I get them to join the affiliate program, if we get them to do X, Y, and Z? And again, the fact that one, it's hard work, and two, she's going in and she's working for my bags. I have more invested than her. I have more to lose than her. She's working. I mean, she's doing it because she's just a great person, but also it greatly benefits me. So of course I love her for that. I love anyone that goes in and works for VeVe, both in a actual way and in a non-actual way. I know she's a Discord mod, and yeah, there's certain compensations with that, but also like she doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to like she's done so many things that she didn't have to do. But and that's part of the reason why I love her is because it again selfish, but hey, yeah, Magic, you go. Whatever I need to do, I'll support you. Work for my backs. Do whatever you need to do. Anywho, let's continue getting this bread, shall we? You have 24/7 Comics saying limited Bladesmith #1 artist edition giveaway. One entry per person, 20 winners. To enter, you just have to enter a form from the 247 Comics tweet. You have to follow 247 Comics HQ, like, retweet this post. One entry for tagging a fellow chef assassin, VeVe enthusiast. And winners announced this Friday when Bladesmith #1 Standard Edition drops on VeVe Official. I don't think I can go over that. VeVe posts about 24/7 saying, a chef, an assassin, a legacy forged in steel. Bladesmith slices into a world where culinary mastery meets deadly precision. When a son is kidnapped, one chef must wield his blades for more than just cooking. He must reclaim his past and fight for his future. This sound cracked as fuck, boy. I want to read this so bad. This sounds so a chef that's a loose cannon on the edge. This sounds so great. It doesn't, but I'm gonna buy the fudge out of this. Anywho, this week you had Powerpuff Girls #9, Purgatory #1, Terminator #6, and Vampirella #1. I thought we already had a Vampirella. I guess we're getting another one. What's up, zombie? Nick's order says breaking. President Trump just signed a huge executive order to secure elections. The order requires cutting federal funding to states who refuse to take steps to secure elections. DHS resources to be used to ensure illegals that are not voting. Very good. A citizenship question on the voting form for the first time. I don't know why the fudge we weren't confirming if people were citizens or not. And four, DOJ to vigorously pursue election crimes, especially in states not compliant with federal law around election integrity. Also, President Trump signs executive order enabling the U.S. Treasury to modernize its payments system to reduce fraud, waste, and abuse. Oh, here's what I got. So there is something called the Million Bit homepage, and the Million Bit homepage is something that I had gone over and oh god, where is the screenshots? Taking a look at. You can buy one square in it for I think like $30 or $40. And you can get as many squares as you want. And there's this amazing amount of people that's in there. It's reminiscent to the $1 Million website. So back in the day, all right, all of my hair is gonna be out here. It's just gonna be a shit show. Anyway, there was this website called the $1 Million homepage. And what it was is it was 1,000,000 pixels, and everyone got to go in and buy a pixel for $1. You can buy multiple pixels for $1. Anyway, it's called the $1 Million homepage. And eventually it all sold out, and the person that got it made $1 million. Or the person that owned it. So this is the 1,000,000 bit homepage, and everyone goes in and they can pay a certain amount of ETH. They can go in and really launch their project on there. You have Crappy Bird over there. It's all stuff on base, right? It's all the projects on base. You have Moon Credits over there. So what I did is right under Crappy Bird, God bless them, I put OMI. I decided, like, yeah, I'll pay for it. I decided to be Thanos. Fine, I'll do it myself. And I went in, and if a Comey's not going to go in and advertise their stuff, I'm going to go in and advertise their stuff. So I decided to go in and spend some money and put OMI in there for all to see forever before it sells out, because eventually it will. And I went over and said, yeah, this is my thing. And what you can do is when you upload a photo, you can put a link in there. So I was like, well, if I'm going to advertise for a Comey, I might as well put their X account in there. I was like, well, what's OMI used for? It's used for VeVe Digital Collectibles. Maybe I should put the VeVe X account on that link. And then I was like, well, wait, why don't I just take people right to the source, and I'll put a link in there when people can sign up for the VeVe app and then use OMI on Stacker. So that's what I did. I decided to go in and use my referral code. My referral link goes and sends people to the website where they can sign up and get $10 free. And I hope it works. We'll see. I'll keep you all posted. Anywho, let's move on. We have GameStop updates investment policy to include Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. Yum, 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 yum. GameStop GME to add Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. Oh, can't do that. Hello, Matt. This is so great. Sorry, I love these memes. The convergence of VeVe and VeVeverse is shaping the foundation for a creators' economy, a space where artists, collectors, and innovators can connect, build, and thrive. We aim to give creators more tools to bring their visions to life in a fully immersive digital world, says David Yu, re-quoting Master Roni. Master Roni has the first ever paid project that he had built for somebody else. So that was awesome. Also, Clever Jerk. Bro, Clever Jerk, this man, one of my heckin' heroes. He unfortunately has declined my advances to be on the podcast, but we'll see. He says that congratulations to Chambo, Casual, and Champ on their VeVeverse builds. Love that. Devi Exchange says no more commingled funds, no middlemen. On Devi Exchange, your assets stay yours. No omnibus wallets, no brokerage disguised as an exchange. You stay in control at all times, just the way it should be. What up, Zombie? JL saying, okay, glad Randy is holding this fort this late at night. Let's go. Let's get the spread. I love this game. That article that was shared is so heckin' good. VeVe in general, and again, they have the last several years where they made so much money, and now they have someone that's so freaking awesome that's doing the day-to-day stuff. So, for an example, in the movie Funny People, which came out back in 2009, that highlighted like the Facebook versus MySpace fight for attention. And I distinctly remember in one scene, I took a date to this. Hi, Elena. She's not going to remember. She's not watching this. Anyway, they had these celebrities say whether or not they liked Facebook or MySpace because they were fighting for attention. And the more celebrities you had coming out for your brand was the winner. And in a market that wasn't even born yet, you had CryptoPunks, CryptoKitties. Back in the day, they pioneered this idea that stated that NFTs can be collectibles if you gave them traits and rarity on those traits. They pretty much had 100% share of the market up through 2020. But then NFT NYC came along. And the first half of 2021 was glorious. Everyone and their sister had an NFT project. It was the same fight in NFTs as there was with MySpace and Facebook. It's the tension. You know, all of these upstarts that were claiming that they were the best, they had the best community, paid for followers, and were also following me, Crypto Rain, and Dr. Stuff around all weekend. They were trying to get us to make content on their 10,000 PFP profile NFT projects. It had no IP. They weren't doxed owners. There's no utility. There's no confidence, no dick. They've lost the fight, right? But eventually cream rose to the top. So you had your VeVes, your Recurs, your Heroes, and because of these companies, the titans of IP started to get in. And that even though those particular names didn't mean much, the IP that they had did. And owners of these companies competed for these major IPs, and whoever the winner was got the most attention from the retail investors, like myself and some of you guys. Now, VeVe didn't only just win on the IP side, grabbing Marvel, Disney, all the ones you've heard me talk about, etc., but they also won in who was CEO. It wasn't a situation where you had to bet on the horse or bet on the jockey. One company had less IP but a better CEO, or a better CEO but a lesser IP. VeVe did what Hannah Montana did in 06 and got the best of both worlds. This wasn't a failure to accrue IP, but it was an imperfect understanding of where value comes from. Again, Recur had raised like 55 million in 2 funding rounds. I distinctly remember 5 million being raised in March of 21 and 50 million several months later when the NFTs took off. That $50 million raise was at a third of $1 billion market cap. Now, I'll never blame people who ask for something for nothing in return. I will put the blame on people or entities or governments that give out those free handouts. Now, these VCs were so obtuse that they thought that the company with next to no revenue was worth a third of $1 billion. That's why I made a video when they advertised Hey Arnold and Rugrats NFTs, saying that no amount of money can make people care about NFTs when the CEO doesn't care about the IP. And it was a shit show. Now you have Recur, Quid, these upstarts in them, they didn't care about the IP, and that's a big reason why they failed. But other reasons were the capital allocation. They clearly blew through $55 million in a year, and they had nothing to show for it. So just wasting the first appearance of the characters on Nickelodeon, Paramount, Hello Kitty, etc. So what's better today if you're a company that's just starting versus if you're VeVe? Well, if you're started today, you have a clear path of what to do and what not to do. VeVe setting that path of both in many cases. But if I'm the incumbent, if I'm VeVe, I see almost no disadvantages. The advantages of any new startup immediately are writ small by the disadvantages, with that VeVe is a behemoth of a company. Anyway, WLP says, move over, Dragon Girl. That My Toy chocolate mousse has won my heart. Oh, girl, get that bread. And thank you, VeVe Zombie. I love you. Shut. Excuse me. I am, guys. If y'all want to ask me anything, I'm getting real right now. I am lit AF. Let's post that. Should I post that on X? Probably not. But let's do it anyway. Let's go off and just say like, lit as fuck. Oh God. Lit as fuck. Let's get real. Really ask me anything. Hashtag AMA. Hashtag secrets. $ OMI. I don't even know if that's going to help, but we'll see. Shout out to the 200-ish people that are here. VeVe Magic says, we're looking close to 10 million followers combined with people I'll be with. Probably not. Keep doubting me, but love you so much. VeVe Zombie says, love you, brother. Oh, I love you too, man. I love you so much. I love everyone that's here. Speaking of people, you have Michael Thaler that sends a message to GameStop CEO after the company announced it will buy Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. Welcome to Team Bitcoin. So there was something that the other day, somebody posted in the VeVe Facebook group saying like, today was a disaster while trying to buy the X-Men 2 comics using the upgraded app. I miss the old app. How can we recommend an affiliate program for an app that doesn't work? Some say VeVe just made $150 in gross revenues last month. And that's where I stopped reading. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? All it took was about 6 minutes worth of work And I said, actually, just on the primary sales alone, you had like $230,000, not including the VeVe Comics digital NFTs, which make tens of thousands of dollars per week. That's not including the secondary market, and that's not including the digital read-only comics that VeVe Comics has. I was like, you're talking about $150,000 gross. And again, when you go off and say, like some say that VeVe, like, why post something when you have no idea what you're talking about? So you have a lot of these fudders. Not saying that this person was a fudder, although I've barely seen them talk anything positive about it, but you have a lot of these fudders that somebody says something about an unconfirmed number, and then you have these people, like, just for the headline, try to get the followers, try to clickbait, whatever. They take it and they run with it, and it's just not true. So be really careful where you get that information from. Jordan, I was like, why is nah, she doing the Lord's work, bro. Was saying work for my bags. Yeah, we all work for our bags. We get this bread. Zombie says, work for your bees. Work for your bees. If you know this reference, you're a G. Do I know this reference? I'm not gonna lie. I do not know that reference. Crazy Dan 420 says, yo, yo, yo. Hey, hey, hey. Cheers, mates. I work for my bags a lot. And again, I don't need to work for my bag. It would probably behoove me to never make content again. And and probably never be online again in the short term, because I could take what I do in the day and I could do something else and I could make more money with it. But again, when you have certain people, especially like Ben Rose, and oh god, there's no more water. Oh, cool, I have this. When you have certain people that are going to bat for you, this is why I had made that declaration that my new goal is to acquire 1 billion OMI for myself. Like I came into finance as a big nobody, a big underdog. Like no one ever thought that like a first generation immigrant with like one semester of community college could really be successful in the finance industry, but they didn't know. Like they forgot that I was Randy Chavez. Like I earned a bunch of awards, promotions, and medals in the military. Like I do my research. They forgot that I was the most successful underwriter in high risk lending industry, some of which I still do today since its inception in the 2000s. How? Again, I did my research. They forgot that my second company that I ever had was launched 3 weeks before COVID hit, and it shut down the economy, and I had still turned profit that year. How? Again, I did my research. What did my research tell me about VeVe? Told me that once again, people forgot. They forgot that they had the reigning winner of EY's Entrepreneur of the Year, David Yu. They forgot that this company had the most sales of any digital collectible company in the history of the world. They forgot that they'd sold out more drops than not over the 4 of the past 5 years. They forgot that new additions to the team, such as Ben Rose, has helped build successful companies before. They forgot that VeVe has sold over 12 million comics and collectibles throughout their half a decade in existence, or that magical things can happen when you put in 100% effort, not working 8 or 10 or even 12 hours a day, but 14, 16, heck, even 18 to 20-hour days, not sleeping because they're working so hard. They forgot. They forgot that no other CEO ever got the Pokemon license as a teenager, ever. They forgot that VeVe attracts talent from both small and big companies alike. Ben Rose coming in from being CEO at Binance and New Zealand and Australia is a great example of that. They forgot that VeVe made millions for companies like Disney, Marvel, and more, and they can cash in on those favors anytime that they want it. But they forgot. But I didn't. Now, a lot of fudders will tell you that OMI is dead despite it being attached to the most successful digital platform in collectibles history. And it's not only a matter of time before VeVe goes down too, ensuring the token's demise, blah, blah, blah. But what if I told you that there are plans to advertise and make the token great again? What if I told you that the fudders and bears logic is deeply flawed and does not service the public's best interests? What if you wake up one day and realize the bearish sentiment we've had the last year has been perpetuated by a few determined bears and fudders with multiple accounts and has nothing to do with the actual sentiment among the community? What if propping up and listening to unsuccessful YouTubers has endangered your current and future bags? And what if listening to hateful, maniacal, poverty-stricken trolls is directly related to how some people perceive the company? What if it dawns on us one day that losing out on millions of dollars of gains is not a fair trade-off for refusing to buy or dollar cost average because you're mad at a few delays? No matter how many times VeVe says VeVeverse marketing stacker rollouts are on their way. Now, what if we realize that traders, even though sometimes successful, are almost always worse off than the investors that buy and hold good tokens and products? What if all anti-VeVe and OMI rhetoric is paid for through the deceitful act of leaking inside info from a former employee? Now, what if we see that fudders use bear market conditions to try and undermine and manipulate people out of good projects? And what if the hysterical bears weren't telling the truth and that there's no empirical evidence or data points that they're referencing, just the same old tired talking points from yesteryear? And what if the bulls understood once again that their only logical step is to double down on possibly the greatest investment of their life? And what if sleeping VeVe fam woke up and understood that the official reasons for VeVe's delays were almost all because of the lies and propaganda promoted by someone who is no longer a threat, and that is smooth sailing from here on out? What if we as a VeVe fam came to realize that the VeVe company is already disrupting the collectibles business and is in the perfect spot to potentially be a trillion-dollar company one day? And what if Ben Rose has no intention of leaving VeVe after 1 to 2 years like he did in previous companies, because he recognizes that VeVe is the best opportunity for growth in the entire world? What if Ben has contingencies planned for a hiring spree once VeVe madness sweeps the collectibles communities, and that VeVe will grow their team yet again? What if OMI investors learn the truth and that the risk to reward ratio for OMI is so much simpler than the unsuccessful fudders tell them, and that the thesis for the company has only ever changed for the better? What if the manipulation of OMI token was to shake out the weak hands in order to better serve the whales that can see the future and want to accumulate more? What if the bears and fudders with myopic viewpoints are completely wrong about VeVe and OMI, and they get you wrecked worse than stockbrokers did in '07 and '08? What if some of the former YouTubers turned VeVe employees actually teach intelligent investment strategies and not getting into rug pulls like Mammoth AI? What if investing in OMI and VeVe is found to be superior to memes and rugs in protecting your bags? Now, what if I've told you that I've seen the future and that's why I'm bullish? What if I told you that I had the fewest defaults in a high-risk lending industry, and that I've never gotten a position of this size wrong? Now, what if my concerns about the lying bears and fudders are completely unfounded? You don't purchase anything and you lose nothing. But what if my concerns about the fudders are justified and ignored? You don't purchase anything and miss out on what could be the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. And it's not just me that thinks so. Ben Rose posted an article on LinkedIn a few months ago about what he's learned as his time as co-CEO at VeVe. Zombie says, work for your bees. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Crazy Dan 420. Yo, yo, yo. What up, Crazy Dan? VeVe Magic. How's it going, girl? Saying Masteroni is making major moves and creating a secondary career from the VeVeverse. Hard work pays off. Cheers, mate. I've been talking a lot today. I'm not gonna lie. My no yeah, my man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go off soon. I'm dying over here. Let's see what other news we have. OMI says one Transformers, bro. Hasbro. We need Hasbro. I want Transformers. I want G.I. Joe. I want My Little Pony. We ain't getting that bread though. We ain't getting it. We haven't reached it. I believe that one day we will. But it is not this day. It's a Lord of the Rings reference. And I want Lord of the Rings too. VV Zombie, giving me the then I saw you skip my Selma Hayek, Adrena comment your first stream day rabbit hole. I did post it like, oh yeah, Selma Hayek, Adrena, you know, like that I just did to OMI. I just didn't know. Yeah, I probably should go over it. Probably should. Excuse me. Anyway, speaking of the Ben Rose. Ben Rose had mentioned something yesterday that I will go over right now. Oh God, hiccups. Yo, what's up, zombie? So Ben Rose posted yesterday, what can we learn from streetwear, gaming, and art? At VeVe Official, we think a lot about why people collect, not just what, but why. Digital collecting isn't just a new format, it's a new frontier. And if we want to build experiences that truly resonate, we have to look beyond blockchain and back-end infrastructure. We need to learn from cultures that already know how to build desire, identity, and emotional connection. Some of the most powerful lessons for digital collectibles come from streetwear, gaming, and art. Streetwear, scarcity with soul. If you're ever queued up, online or offline, for a sneaker drop, you know the streetwear isn't just about a product. It's about belonging. A Supreme or Bathing Ape drop isn't just a transaction, it's a moment. The drop has become part of our culture at VeVe too, but we've learned that scarcity alone isn't enough. The magic happens when a release taps into something bigger. Shared memory, cultural moment, sense of connection. We're not here to release inventory, we're here to create experiences. Now there's gaming, value through engagement. Gamers have been collecting digital items long before NFTs. Skins, emotes, achievements, etc. They all carry emotional weight because they're earned, customized, and shared. In games, digital items become part of how you express yourself. That's a model we can learn. VeVe Collectibles shouldn't sit in your vault. It should live in your world, whether through AR or the VeVeverse or its ties to the fandom. Every collectible should be something that you love to engage with because it means something to you. Then you have art. It's story first. Contemporary art reminds us that to matter, something has to make you feel. The same is true for great digital collectibles. We're not here to copy the physical world. We're here to reimagine it. Every piece should be a story, a digital expression of emotion, nostalgia, and creative vision. Next is innovation with purpose. Tech gives us amazing tools, but tools only matter if they serve the experience. Now we're exploring AR, metaverse, and blockchain, but we don't innovate just for the sake of it. We do it to enhance collecting itself, whether it's seeing a character come to life in AR or catching up with a friend across the world in VR. Our goal is always the same, to make collecting more personal, meaningful, and more fun. Every feature, every drop, every long-term decision comes back to a simple question. Does this make collecting better? Because collecting is not about identity, it's about emotion, it's about storytelling. And when we stay focused on the collector, respect with culture, and innovative with purpose, we're not just building a platform, we're building the future of fandom. And then he goes in and posts a couple of these dudes. I have no idea where they are. Photo by Michael DeMoya on Unsplash. So there is something that I want to go over. I don't know where this is going to be from. If it's going to be, this might have been a long time ago. Not a long time ago, the past week. Shoot. I don't know where it would be. It's from a friend of mine, but she posted it a long time ago. And I don't know. Shoot. Oh. She says, obsessed is a word the lazy use to describe the dedicated. It's, quote, you're obsessed with games, end quote. You're obsessed with trophies. Nah. Also, who likes the real world? It's a crowded server that constantly puts you in the queue for everything, repetitive quests with cheap rewards and full of NPC. But more importantly, instead of getting rewarded, I'd be sent to jail if I killed stuff. Not cool. It's someone that just loves gaming, someone that loves being rewarded for these games. When I first got into the military, every single, like, and this is, you want to know the profession that kills himself the most? Military. In military culture, at least when I first got in, I was like, hey, where are we drinking tonight? Whose house we knocking up? Who we going and we getting lit with tonight? Every single day, every single hour, every single minute of every single day, people in the military are drinking, making horrible decisions. and And when she goes on and she says, like, talking about the achievements of this, and Ben Rose talking about the building the future of the fandom. In the military, when I first got in, it was all about partying. Where are we drinking? Where are we getting wild? Where are we having fun? And when I came back from the Kuwait deployment, all of the new airmen were just like not doing that, which is great that they're not drinking as much. But like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, I remember calling my friend DC and I was like, hey, what are you doing right now? I was like, sitting in my room alone, listening to Adele. I was like, bro, like, really? Like, and I remember Zervan, I remember a bunch of these people. I was like, guys, like, what are you doing right now? Like, oh, I'm playing video, man, playing video games. It's totes my goats. And I was like, okay, I get it. Like, I do, I get it. Like, I love video games, clearly, but why aren't you out there like having fun? And it was this new generation of airmen that was going on saying, no, I'd like to sit inside and play with my digital toys. And that mindset has only gotten bigger over the last several years. Just gives more evidence to the point that this is a majorly disruptive company. And if I were to make a digital collectible of this tiger duck, no one's going to buy it. But Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, yeah, most people going to buy. Anywho, Devender Singh says awesomeness. Why? Thank you. Eric Miles says Randy Power Hour. Yo, get this bread. Ben Korea says, do you think there's a chance VeVe develops standalone Pokemon collector app? No. Like if they're going to get Pokemon, they're going to put it on this app here. There's no way that VeVe develops a standalone Pokemon collector app. It's going to be shoulder to shoulder with everyone else. So I would think, man, this I really drank this entire bottle. I am, good lordy, I'm never going to drink again for another week or so. But no, there's no way they do that. You know what? We'll see what they do, but definitely not that. Anywho, moving on. We have Masteroni says 1,539 total shapes later. I'm pleased to say that my first ever VeVe paid project is almost done. Huge thanks to Seb3 Bitcoin for the amazing collaboration. I'm grateful for the opportunity to challenge myself and create one of the best spaces I've ever built. Exciting for what's next. Companies, nope. And they produce great. Mr. MC1 says, anyone think they produce great content for the company and adds value? Write a proposal to VeVe and get paid as a marketer. Maybe I should do that. Comment down below if I should. Mr. MC1 says, when did Gary V care about Batman and Spider-Man? He has his own IP and that V friend stuff. Maybe Gary V will talk about VeVe soon. Years ago, David and the team did have a meeting with Gary V. Gary V wanted like millions of dollars, so VeVe's like, heck nah. So Gary V just wants eventually owns the Jets. If he wants to eventually own the Jets, yeah, he's going to want to get some OMI and get some of this affiliate bread. Arcturus says, is KYB or Know Your Business still a topic that in the conversation? Business acquiring collectibles and OMI? It should be. I haven't seen it mentioned in a while though. Who knows? I love Ben Rose and his I think this, I'm pretty sure it's Photoshop. You have Bruce Clark Kent saying someone is ready for Rogue X-Men, and it's Ben. It's amazing. That's probably going to be, shouldn't make that it for me today. There's a song from Alessandra Bashir saying, we thank you, Elon Musk. It is not great, but it's funny. Over that. Is that really from yet? Oh, okay. I see why that's from yesterday, because now it's after midnight. Yeah, after midnight is wild. Hold on, let me do something here. Let me Let me just take a question of that. Okay. Because I have to. It's still saying my photos are from yesterday when they're really from today. Oh shoot! It's already past 1:10 though. How are they doing that? It's after midnight. Before I go, let's take a look at what people are talking about over on X. So I'll go to my following. You have Kaki Gaijin says, will the people who didn't get in be notified? Talking about the affiliates program. VeVe Digital Collectibles says creators and collectors want to earn with VeVe. The affiliates program is here. Apply today if you're a content creator or part of a fandom community with 2,500 plus followers across your social accounts. You can now apply to earn rewards, referring new collectors to VeVe. Apply on the website, get unique referral link, share and earn when new users join VeVe and make their first purchase. Very good. Let's see what else we got here. The heck? Marion Awful saying House leaders introduce stablecoin framework with a new stable act. Very good. Says at 69 extra minutes, Israeli UN ambassador, UN special treatment of Israel is modern anti-Semitism. That's interesting. Save that for another time. Delivered. You got Blade in all his sartorial charm over there. Gotta love that. Blade is so heckin' cool. You have Marion Awful saying, our women are leading us into a golden age. During a Women's History Month speech, Trump praised the strength and vision of American women, calling them the driving force behind a renewed national spirit. Interesting. Oh, wildlife warriors. I love them. Mahalo Joe says it's clobbering time. Glad I hit the secret rare for Godzilla vs. Fantastic Four. It's Godzilla's first appearance on VeVe/VeVe Comics. That does look really cool. Yeah, Marion Awful saying, quoting Trump, saying, I'm ordering 25% tariff on imported cars and parts. Went over that before. Don't like it. Skip him for a while. Oh my God, there's so many text messages. There's this guy named Kryptonite 420. I do tend to go on and talk to, not every night, but a few times a week. He always has spaces every night. It's really cool. And that looks like it'll be it for me on the day. Let me go in and break in a couple of comments here. Everyone comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. I will be live with VeVe FanBam at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I have some other stuff I may or may not announce. Anyway, everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy.